Hey everybody, I'm Regan Wood. Welcome back to The Stitch Up. I know it's been a really long time since the last episode, but it's been a couple of months. Unfortunately, I had to have some knee surgery. It took me out of the game for quite a while. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to work, and it was, I probably could have done this. You can sit down and talk to a camera, can't you, even with a bung knee. I appreciate your patience, and I hope that you were well during the time off, and you got to see lots of movies, which I did. So we're going to get into it, but because it's my first one back after a really long break, I thought I'd do something special. So I went on a little trip. I went on a little journey, and I'd like you to come with me. So come with me now. Come with me now as we journey off somewhere magical. So here we are. We're in Trentham. It's idyllic, it's beautiful, and there's a cat involved. Welcome back to The Stitch Up, everyone. I'm here with my good friend Hugo Farrant. Today we're going to be speaking to you about Batman vs Superman, which obviously came out months and months ago at the cinema, but just this week they released the director's cut. So we're going to have a chat about that film.
We're going to go deep.
We're going deep.
We're gonna conduct an investigation into the mystery that is Zack Snyder in charge of the DC cinematic universe. How conceivably someone like him could have ended up in the role. And what's he all about? Future cinematographic historians will look back on, and already are, just in bewilderment. Like, what were they thinking? What on earth were they thinking?
This is why you get the wordsmith. He uses words. What was it? Cinematopoeia?
Cinematopoeic historiographer.
Hysterectomy, the thing.
We're going deep.
We'll give you a quick catch-up.
Spoilers.
Spoilers alert. So Batman vs Superman opens with not only Batman's origin, but also destruction that was wrought by Zod coming here to fight Kal-El. But we see it this time from ground level, from Bruce Wayne's perspective. After this enormous battle in which thousands of lives were lost, we pick up 18 months later where Superman is being both revered as a deity and also seen as a threat. And Superman's a bit lost. He's trying to do his best, and he's trying to just lead a normal life with Lois as Clark as well, but he keeps getting drawn into these political situations. Ben Affleck is our Batman, and he's an old, craggly Batman. He's about 40, he's been fighting crime in Gotham for 20 years, he's very jaded. He's a bit of a drunk. He sees Superman as a level threat and starts to concoct a plan to eliminate Superman if need be. Throw in an extremely over-the-top performance from Jesse Eisenberg's Lex Luthor. And then Wonder Woman comes along, a little bit of Doomsday.
The task that they set themselves is the first sign that they're utterly incompetent. That's too much for a movie, I'm sorry, that's just too much.
For starters, it's really, really cool to see Batman and Superman and Wonder Woman on screen together.
You've chosen the right word there, cool. It's cool.
It's cool. It looks good.
Which is not good.
Yeah.
You can tell the kind of teenage enthusiasm that kind of infuses this movie.
Yeah.
Obviously, trying to provide something like that spinning hero shot in New York from the Avengers.
The first Avengers, yes.
Where it just spins around them all,
yeah.
And they're all getting ready to fight the Anunnaki. Who are they? Chitauri?
No, I think that's a sushi, isn't it? That's freshwater eel, I'm sure.
And it's evidently an effort to replicate that. Joss Whedon knows how to helm something like that. Yeah. He knows how to get that together so that it feels earned.
But the other reason that was earned, that dolly shot like around the mall, and you're just like, oh my god! The other reason that felt big was because it took them 5 movies to get there, whereas it seems like DC has seen the success that the Avengers and the Avengers universe has had, and is trying to race to the finish line. Batman vs Superman is so overpacked. Like, I gave it a chance. I saw it at the cinema twice. Put my money down, making it rain for Batman and Superman, alright? And then I bought the DVD. I'm thinking about giving it away. They don't even bother having establishing shots to set up scenes. Like, you have to establish where you are. It goes from Bruce Wayne in his tower, and it cuts to a courtroom, and then it cuts back to Superman talking on the phone to his mum in Metropolis, but basic language you have to have as a filmmaker in order for people to be able to follow the story. It'd be like breaking the axis or framing someone the wrong way. The audience is going to feel something's off even if they don't know, and I felt it a lot. It was just uncomfortably staged. Like that final fight scene, you can't tell what's going on.
Let's talk just basic competence. You can get away with anything in a movie, message-wise, theme-wise, pretty much. If you make the movie competent, people will go along for the ride. This movie, as far as I'm concerned, is really, really incompetent. You can tell again the kind of teenage desire of a certain type of comics fan. My type of comics fan.
Your type of comic fan.
The comic fan who pretty much loves the adult take. Things like The Dark Knight Returns.
Oh, seminal. And a lot of this film, it has those echoes of...
Echoes.
Yeah.
Horrifying echoes.
I know, yeah, it's pretty
Because if you're a fan of that text, you're going to just constantly be getting these callbacks to it in your face. And it's something I've started to call Snidering. To Snyder a property is to take an existing property that you enjoy as a director and be so arrogant that you feel like you can just rip parts out of it and throw it into your completely hubristic, horrifying version of it. Like you've basically carved out that and said, no, that was mine. I did it first.
Okay.
I adapted it first. He's already done this.
Yeah.
He's Snydered.
He took Watchmen.
He Snydered Watchmen. Watchmen's a horrible movie. Anything good in it is when the adaptation has been done really, really literally.
Visually, you know.
Visually, just transferred it from the thing, and he's pretty good at that. I got to say.
Yeah, I know. He's like Michael Bay. He's a lensman. Like where you see during the credits, you see that gun with the pearls.
Yeah.
And then you see it click like all that's.
That's a Snidering comic either.
Oh.
Like how on earth?
This is our co-host, Peaches.
Peach.
Peaches.
Just
the one peach.
No. It varies.
Peaches, peach.
You can go for
sometimes
longer. Peachy poo.
In the summer, it's apricot. She's got some good points to make later.
She told me all this.
Yeah, basically.
She's whispering in my ear. Sorry, what have I got wrong?
What did you say?
Oh yeah, so it didn't make sense.
Right.
In the original paneling.
Thanks, Peach.
In The Dark Knight Returns. There's no way these pearls are going to end up wrapped around the gun. Well, there's one example of Snidering from The Dark Knight Returns. Another one that really stood out to me. Bruce Wayne is in conversation with Alfred, and at one point he says the line, "We've always been criminals." It doesn't make any sense in the context. They've just Snydered it straight up. It's just like, oh, that's from the comic, okay, just shove it in. In the comic book, that's all about Batman's unwillingness to sign over to some act that registers all superheroes, which Superman signs on for. If you don't sign on to this act, you'll just be criminals.
Yeah.
And Superman's remembering goes, and you, Bruce, you just laughed and said, "We've always been criminals."
Yeah.
Great stuff.
That's dope.
Great stuff.
Yeah.
Snydered through this movie where it's just like Batman has to explain to Alfred, "We've always been criminals." Who's we?
Right.
Another example is the one that you mentioned where Bruce Wayne's an alcoholic. Being Batman is not compatible with being an alcoholic, with drinking.
No.
You cannot maintain that physical perfection and be an alcoholic.
And mental prowess as well. The guy's supposed to be the world's greatest detective.
Totally.
You can't detect shit after a bottle of wine.
Totally. Except for where the bottle went. Alfred, there's a criminal working in Gotham, the drinker.
Master Wayne, you're a dick.
Alfred comes in with the line that's Snydered from the comic book. Maybe Sir would like to leave some wine left in the cellar for future Wayne
Waynes,
generations.
Yeah.
The next Snydered line is, "Not that there's much hope of a future generation."
Yeah, yeah.
And the point of that line in the comic book is that he's a loner. He just drinks at home. Alfred can't say that line when he's just walked in, when Bruce Wayne has just shagged a debutante. In a drunken orgy. If Bruce Wayne is shagging, there's the possibility of
knocking someone up.
Future heirs.
I'm told that's how it happens.
Well, the storks pay attention. They put their lamp in the sky as a stork. Yeah, we're going there.
Which you just made a fucking bat signal joke, man.
Yeah,
that was great.
that's right.
And there are some really nice moments in the film. Moments in between the cacophonous din that is, this train wreck of a film. Rated M anyway, and then in the States, the director's cuts are hard R.
Okay.
So they went hard R after Deadpool dropped and did massive binders. And they've literally inserted 30 minutes of footage, which was kind of unnecessary. But if you are going to get it on DVD or Blu-ray, don't buy the Ultimate Edition to show to children. It is awkwardly and uncomfortably violent for a film based on two child comic book icons. In this extended edition, the Bat brand, and they say at one point the Bat brand, the Batman gives bad guys, when they end up in prison, it's a death sentence. Cut to an extra scene they've added for the Ultimate Edition where one of these cats, who you see at the start of the film with the Bat brand that's been given to him by Batman, ends up in prison and gets fucking shanked. Shanked! He gets held up against the wall and stabbed repeatedly in a Batman and Superman film. This is madness. This is chaos. And they've gone in and digitally added that last fight scene with Batman, which was probably the best 5 minutes of the whole film, where he's fighting 6 guys at once.
Lots of guys.
They've gone in and added blood spatter when the guys hit the walls. So far removed from what a comic book movie should be.
This is the final part of the Snidering definition, is that it turns out that you don't understand the source material at all. All right. Are you ready to take a deep dive?
Right. We're going to go deep. We're going to go dark.
All right.
We're going to talk about something that Hugo mentioned to me 2 weeks ago when we were organising this. And he said, I've got some really interesting thoughts. And I'm like, oh yeah, what'd you think of the film? And I'm all like, la 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 la. And he said, oh no, we're going to go deep. And I'm really looking forward to it. So get yourself another drink, get yourself a bit of popcorn, do whatever you have to do, pause the video, and we'll be here when you get back. We're going to do some deepness. So there you go. Hopefully that was a return to form, and certainly something we're going to do more of, these team-ups of me talking to people, because let's face it, that's far more interesting than me doing it sitting here by myself. So this episode is going to be broken up into 3 pieces. We got some really great stuff out of Hugo, and he's got some really interesting points to make about not just Batman versus Superman, but also Zack Snyder as a director and as a person. And so we're going to talk about those next week. But in the meantime, thanks very much again for your patience, and we'll see you next time.
Every element and specimen, ladies, gentlemen, I am your host, the planet Earth. Welcome in. Congratulations on your development. On this amazing occasion, I present a retrospective from the very beginning, 8 million millennia spin, until the momentous second I let complexity enter in. There it is, one of your earliest forms, a radiolarian. Even so early on, symmetry radiates from within. But you were somewhat scared to swim in the ocean. You were hoping to just float there, hold the motive, remain protozoic. But with momentum enfolding, we kept on composing creation's poem, honing each verse with unique